Welcome, I'm Ed Pozzuoli, President Tripp Scott, and this is another one of our series of webcasts. Today we're joined by the Regional President of TD Bank, Ernie Diaz. Ernie, welcome.
Good to be here.
You know, Urban League is having its national conference in Fort Lauderdale at the end of July 29th through August 1st at the Broward Convention Center. I know TD Bank is playing a large role in that.
It is. It's about what we believe in. It starts with our CEO. And it just filters all the way down. We are committed to building an inclusive workplace. We're committed to building a workplace which is reflective of our communities. And so that's why it made sense to support the Urban League with their national conference. We've been supporting them, as I said. For us, supporting diverse communities it's what it's all about.
Let's focus a little bit on the national conference. I mean, it's really a great plum for the city of Fort Lauderdale to have it here. Do you know how many people they expect to have?
Oh, I mean, talking to the folks at Urban League, I think there are over 6,000 attendees to the conference at some point. But for Broward and for Fort Lauderdale, it's just going to be amazing. It's going to highlight beautiful Fort Lauderdale. It's going to bring so much in terms of what the city's all about. I think it's going to be fantastic.
The headlines are kind of ripe of all kinds of racial strife or racial tension. And talk a little bit about why that's important that we address those things through the urban organizations like the Urban League.
Sure. We believe that to build a better bank, you have to have a diverse group of employees working for you. You have to build a culture of inclusiveness. And so the only way to do that is not to discriminate, to have a culture which is welcoming of employees regardless of their beliefs, of their preferences, of where they come from. And that's what we're working so hard to do at TD Bank. And that's why dealing with organizations like the Urban League, giving back to the community, helping diverse communities makes so much sense for us.
Give us an idea of the size and scope of TD Bank's footprint in Florida.
Sure, be glad to. Over 2,000 employees, 161 stores. We are located in every metropolitan area of Florida: Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa, obviously South Florida, Dade, Broward, and the Palm Beaches, and we love it in Florida. We are on a national scale, the 10th largest bank in the country, and Florida Bank has deposits of just a little bit over $10 billion. So it's a growth story, and it's a story built around the communities, being reflective of the communities and having a diverse workforce.
So talking about Florida presents a tremendous, both an opportunity and a challenge because of the sheer diversity of economic and community interest, whether talk about South Florida or Central or North Florida. And how do you deal with it? I mean, your scope of responsibility is just very broad.
It's a big state. It's a wonderful state. It's a state that has overtaken now New York in terms of population growth.
Right.
And so there is a lot of diversity in the state, and I think that if you looked at our employee base as you go around the state, it would be reflective of the communities that we do business in.
So for purposes of the bank, given its commitment to diversity and commitment to diversity from an employment standpoint, as well as serving the communities or the vast diverse communities that you serve, supporting the Urban League seems to be a natural.
It made sense, and it's just not the Urban League. For example, in 2014, through our foundation, we were able to support organizations like the Urban League. I think we've done approximately $1,500,000 in the foundation grants and almost $700,000 in sponsorship support just in 2014. And so when you look at someone or an organization like the Urban League that's doing so much in terms of jobs and education and helping families with housing, for us, it just fit the pillars of what we believe that giving back is all about.
And that's really a goal from a corporate level of the bank.
It is. It permeates every level of our organization. We've continued to grow in the Diversity Top 50 rankings, made substantial progress this year, ranked at number 39, second in terms of diversity leadership teams. And so for us, it's a way of life.
So as an example, the National Convention of the Urban League coming in at Fort Lauderdale, the hope is that we become far more sensitive around diversity. And our community becomes committed to it.
Yes, and always striving, as we say, to build that better bank And I go back to that premise because you can't do it if you're not giving back to your communities and you're not building an inclusive workforce.
Okay, and I think with that, I think really you've kind of said it in a word or two, but we appreciate your commitment both to the community and to the Urban League and to the Urban League's National Conference. So Ernie Diaz, thank you very much.
It's our pleasure. Thank you on behalf of TD Bank and all of its employees. Thank you.
Appreciate it.